What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the ultimate hero guide in Age of Empires Mobile. In today's episode, I'm going to show you guys the difference between might and strategy and how they work. I'm going to show you how your normal attack will help you do so much damage to your enemies in the open field. The main purpose of the video is to help you understand how to pair up these heroes without depending on anyone to do it for you. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Turn on the bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Oh, and by the way, if you want to play the game on your computer, be sure to check out my BlueStacks link in the description section down below. If you download from my link, it's going to help out the channel a lot. Let's get started. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many heroes in Age of Empires Mobile, and each lineup consists of 3 heroes. It can be quite overwhelming trying to understand how to pair them up together. In today's episode, I'm going to show you guys simple game mechanics that's going to help you understand how to pair up your heroes without having to depend on anyone to do it for you. I'm going to begin the video by going over the UI real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because most of you probably know everything here already. So when you click on this button, it's going to expand all of your heroes. You can have a nice view of everyone on screen. At the bottom here, the next button, you're going to have the attribute overview of your heroes. These attributes are very, very important. We are going to get back to it in a little bit. I'm going to divide the video into a bunch of chapters so you can skip to a specific topic that you are looking for. No need to click on all of this stuff at the bottom. We're going to go over here to the skills of the hero. Every hero has a rate skill. This rate skill will level up by itself when you take your heroes all the way up to 120. It'll become 40. You don't need to spend anything over here. The next skill is going to be the signature skill. It is what describes the hero and makes them very, very strong. Try to upgrade this skill all the way up to the maximum by using skill points. You can get skill points from many places in the game. There are so many places that you can get your skill points. So let's go back over here. We were looking at Boudica. We're going to keep this pushing. Now the next 2 skills are going to be the customizable skills. These skills can be changed when you hit on the more information. You have a bunch of different customizable skills over here. Now as you can see, you have many of them. You only need to level up these 2 slots over here, because every time you switch into a new skill, you are going to automatically get that skill to the level of this slot. For example, this one is level 30. If I try to replace it with this counter attack, I hit replace. As you can see, it went all the way up to 30. So I'm going to put this back, replace it, it's back. Now it's 30. We're going to keep this pushing. Let's go all the way up top over here. We have what we call the military specialty. Every single hero has a military specialty. Make sure you pair up heroes with the same military specialty to help you get a massive boost. And also make sure you use commanders that can lead the same troop type. That's going to give you a lot of boost. Let me show you what that looks like. When you click on your heroes, as you can see here at the bottom, I have a glorious ranking of 180%. That is because I'm using 3 heroes with military specialty and all of them are leading the same troop type. So that is the reason you put the military specialty for your heroes. Keeping it pushing, at the bottom here you have 2 descriptions. You have attack and you have counter attack. This is how you can recognize your heroes at a quick glimpse. The first writing usually describes the rage skill of the hero. So Boudica is attack. You can see her rage skill. She is going to attack people and do damage to them. The second one is going to describe the signature skill of your hero. So Boudica is described here as counter attack. If you take a look at her signature skill, she is going to do counter attack to her enemies. If you look at all of these other heroes, you're going to see the same thing. Let's take a look at Yodit, for example. Yodit is a support hero, which means her rage skill is support. Let's click on the rage skill. As you can see here, she recovers your units and does some good stuff for you. And then when you see her second skill is active, which means she's going to be doing something. It's going to be triggered when she meets the conditions. So here we go. That is the 2 descriptions. And then the next button here is the medals, this is where you rank up your heroes with medals. You need to pay attention to each one of your heroes because some of them have very good stars at high level and some of them have bad stars. In this case, we are looking at Trip Juana. So Trip Juana, a lot of people will leave her at 3 stars. That is because you don't want her to have a lot of might, which is going to interfere with her lineup. I'll explain that in a little bit. And then we go over here. This is where you level up your heroes. This hero is maximum. Let's click on Mr. Lubu over here. So here is where you can level up your heroes by using experience. You can get experience from many places in the game. Now your heroes can go all the way up to level 120. There is a building that you need to keep leveling up to increase this level. I think it is the tavern. That's the university. So this is the tavern. Every time you level up your tavern, you're going to see that the level of your hero is going to increase. As you can see here, extra hero level limit. So every time you improve your town center, make sure you level up your tavern. That way, the level of your hero increases to a high value. And you can get a lot of XP points by fighting tribes on the map. What else do we need to check here? At the bottom here, you can see your unit capacity. These are the gear of your heroes. Make sure you put gears on all of your heroes because they are going to give you a boost. You can click on this icon here at the bottom. You can see the amount of boost that you have got. It is important to put all these items on your heroes. You can also apply gems to your heroes from here and make them even more stronger. Keeping it pushing, we also have the ring system in the game. Make sure you put rings on your heroes. Rings are going to give you troop attributes as well. They can also do some damage on the field. So apply rings to each one of your heroes. I'm going to explain that in a little bit and you will see how that is very important. At the bottom here, we have what we call the talents. Every hero in Age of Empires Mobile is going to use their own talents to fight their enemy in the open field. Now, the first thing you want to do is to make sure you take field battle experience in the early stages of the game. This is going to help you level up your heroes a little bit faster. You're going to get 5% XP for each hero. And when you have 3 heroes in your lineup, it's going to go to 15% for each hero. So that is going to be good. Once you're done leveling your heroes to level 120, you can reset your talent tree for only 50 Empire coins, which is not a lot. That is something that I need to do. My hero is already level 120. I am going to be resetting this talent tree and I won't pick this point anymore because I don't need it anymore. So this is the hero UI. Now we're going to go check out some good stuff about the heroes in the Age of Empires. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the boring stuff is done. Let us get on to the good stuff in the Age of Empires Mobile, and that is the hero attribute. A lot of people have a lot of problems understanding the attributes of the hero. I'm going to try my best to help you understand what all of this means. So we have might and then we have strategy. These are the 2 different types of attack. We have the armor, which is the defense of the might. But when you look over here, we have strategy and we don't have anything for strategy defense. But guess what? The developers have decided to make sure that the strategy is composed of strategy defense and strategy attack. So as you can see here, this strategy is 198 points of strategy attack and 198 points of strategy defense. And then when it comes here, you have might. This is your might attack and the armor is going to be your might defense. So now let me show you guys the real difference between these two. There are 3 types of attacks in Age of Empires Mobile. You have normal attack, which is used by all heroes. It doesn't matter if they're strategy or might. All of them use normal attack to do different things. I'm going to explain that also in a little bit. And then you have 2 additional attacks that are brought by the heroes. Might attack and strategy attack. Each hero is going to attack with 1 type of attack. So Richard over here uses might. As you can see here, it has been highlighted. It means Richard is going to be attacking his enemies with might. So when Richard attacks someone with his might, he is going to go after somebody's armor, which is the might defense. The strategy attributes do not apply to Richard because he doesn't attack with any strategy, so he's not going to be attacking anybody's strategy defense. He is going to go after that person's armor, which is the might. And then when we have someone here like Sun Tzu. So Sun Tzu is a strategy commander. As you can see here, it has been highlighted strategy. It means Sun Tzu is going to attack someone by using strategy. When he attacks someone, he is going to go after somebody's strategy defense. He is not going to be attacking their armor. He is going to go after their strategy defense. So every hero is going to use either might or strategy to attack the enemy. They can only use one. Now we have a hero here who can attack with both. We have Hannibal who can attack with both might and strategy. However, he is classified as a strategy hero. We're going to get back to that in a little bit. So all you need to know about these heroes is that each one of your heroes is going to have two types of defense. They will have armor, which is might defense, and then they'll have a strategy defense. When they fight someone, that someone is going to go after one of these defenses. For example, when Richard fights someone with might, let's say Richard fights Miyamoto. Miyamoto is a might hero. He is going to attack Richard's armor, which is his defense. He doesn't do anything to his strategy because Miyamoto only uses might to attack the enemy. So Mr. Richard over here has a high armor. It's going to be a little bit challenging for Miyamoto to try and beat Richard because of his high armor. Now, if you pay attention, you can see that Richard has a weak strategy defense, only 198 points. So what does that mean for you? It means you need to bring a strategy hero to try and take down Richard because he has a weak strategy defense. If you bring someone with might, he's gonna have to go after this armor, which is 317 points. But if you bring someone who attacks with strategy, he's gonna go after this one, which is only 198 points. Well, look over here. We have Mr. Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu has a very high strategy attack. So if you send him to fight Richard, he is going to make him suffer because Richard has a weak strategy defense. And Sun Tzu also has a powerful might defense. He is one of the coolest heroes in the game. So this is the difference between might and strategy. Your heroes are going to use one of those types of attack to take down your enemy. And if you pay attention to these attributes, you can know exactly which lineup you need to create to take down another specific lineup that you want to take down. So just look at the armor, the strategy, and then decide which one of your lineups you want to build to take that enemy down. Now, while we're still here, we need to talk about something. All your heroes are going to have these green numbers on the side, which is the scaling. This is how these attributes are going to scale based on the numbers on the side. And when you keep on leveling up your heroes with experience, this one over here, these numbers are going to go up based on the scaling that you see here with the green numbers on the side. So if you are investing in a hero for the future, I would suggest you invest in a hero that has a good attack attribute and also some kind of okay defensive attribute. For example, you have Sun Tzu who has a good strategy attack, good strategy defense, good armor. His scaling is plus 1.17, which is very, very, very good. It means this hero is going to be very useful for a very long time in the game. When you look at someone like Lu Bu, Lu Bu has a nice might attack. He has a good armor, but his strategy defense is also weak. So when he's fighting someone who has a good strategy attack, he is going to suffer. But Lu Bu has good scaling as well. Look at his might scaling, 1.1%. This hero is going to be very useful for a very, very long time in the game. Same thing with Mr. Miyamoto Musashi. He has a good scaling of 0.96%. He has some balanced armor and balanced strategy. It's not so bad. He's going to be very useful for a very, very long time. Now, when you look at the heroes from the tavern are terrible. you should be careful. Try not to invest in them too much because they are going to be left behind. When you look at someone like Joan of Arc, if you look at this scaling on the side, you can see that the might, armor, and strategy doesn't scale properly. It's very, very low. So in the future, there will be very, very powerful heroes who will make these heroes with low scaling and low strategy attributes and might attributes very, very weak. Now we have one of the craziest hero in the game, who is this guy, King Arthur. Look at his might scaling. So, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to show you guys why everybody is afraid of this dude. Look at the scaling, 1.33. It means his might is going to be disgusting when he's fighting somebody. Look at his armor. It's scaling by 1.03. That is a lot. When you level him up to maximum, he's going to be very defensive, both armor and strategy. It's going to be very, very difficult to take down a lineup with this dude. He has some of the best scaling in the game. So you should use this scaling to help you pick the best heroes that are going to be useful in the future. Some of these heroes, they are terrible. They have bad scaling. You are going to be replacing them from your lineup one by one. So you need to be careful. Also, another way to look at your hero scaling is you need to also go at the stars of your heroes. If you click on each rank, you're going to see the amount of might that they get here at the bottom. All the tavern heroes have shitty might that you get from here. They're going to be left behind. So you need to be very careful with those tavern heroes. Let me pick one and show you the terrible might. Let's go with Guan Yu. When we click on the medal section, you can see that he doesn't have good addition. So here you only have 2 and +2. And when you look at someone like Boudica, who is very good, where is she? She's right here. When we click on her medals, every time you level her up, you can see here it goes by 3.5 and here by 4. So this is how you should try and invest in your heroes. Let's move on to the next topic. Alright, warriors and farmers of the Age of Empires mobile universe, it is time to explain how heroes work in the open field. You are going to see the importance of your equipment, the importance of your military specialty, the importance of having heroes that lead the same troop type, the importance of your normal attack, the importance of your hero attributes. We're going to see how all of that is going to help you when you fight your enemies in the open field. We shall begin by going to the hero section. So these are your heroes. You are going to have 3 slots. So to explain everything and make you guys understand, I'm going to remove everything right now. You are going to have 3 slots. Each one of these slots is going to attack with a normal attack. Now let's say the game allowed you to play the game by not using any heroes. So all these slots are only going to attack the enemy with a normal attack. So we'll hit one normal attack, second slot will hit a normal attack, third slot will hit a normal attack. The cycle is going to repeat until all of your enemies are dead. Now that is if the game allowed you to play without having any heroes here. And all the damage you're going to do is from the normal attack. So we have unit counter system in the game where swordsmen counter attack pikemen, pikemen counter attack cavalry, cavalry counter attack archers, archers counter attack swordsmen. This is the counter attack system in the game. So when you are fighting, let's say you don't have any heroes, you are going to use the base attributes of your troops from the training camps. So let us go to the training camps. I'm trying to show you guys the basics from the beginning. So we're going to go here and check out the senior archers. We're going to hit on this icon and we can see the attributes of your troops from here. So we got attack, we have defense, we have health. Health is going to be the same for all the different troop types that we have. The attack and the defense will change. So archers are going to counter attack swordsmen. You can see here swordsmen have attack of 112 and a defense of 149. It is very high. And then we have the pikemen who have balanced statistics, attack 131, defense 131. As you can see, the health has remained the same. And then we have the cavalry who have attack of 115, defense of 86. Their attack is lower than archers, but their defense is higher than archers. And the health has remained the same over here. We're looking at the senior cavalry. So when we go back to our hero section over here, now assuming the game allowed you to fight without any heroes, you will use those attributes and just fight with your normal attacks alone. Now things are going to be interesting when you start introducing your heroes into your lineups. So let's start over here by using a commander. We're going to start with Hua Mulan, and we're going to put archers, and we're going to save this skill slot. Now you have changed the rules. And since we only have one hero here, we are not able to trigger the military specialty. We are missing out on a lot of bonuses. And as you remember, the game says you should use a commander that leads a specific type of troop type. So Hua Mulan is an archer. She is leading archer heroes. You can see I have got a 10% boost here at the bottom. Now let's say I swap this Hua Mulan and give her, let me give her pikemen for the sake of it. When I hit save, as you can see here, she does not have any 10% boost. So make sure you use the proper heroes in your proper lineup. So now when we are fighting with this lineup, the rules are going to change. Hua Mulan has her own attributes. Now she is going to bring might attack to hit the enemy and do might damage. She is also going to do normal attack. Hua Mulan also has might defense and strategy defense. Those are the two defenses that she's going to use to defend herself. If she meets someone who fights with strategy, that person is going to attack this lineup and go after strategy defense because that person uses strategy. If she fights someone who uses might, that person is going to attack Hua Mulan's might defense. So if Hua Mulan has a weak strategy defense and she meets someone with a strong strategy attack, she is going to take a lot of damage. Now let's talk about the commander skill. The commander skill is a skill of its own. It's going to charge on its own and it's going to trigger on its own. So when you attack with normal attack from each one of these three slots, you are going to be charging your commander skill. So let's go over here. We click on any hero. So this is Richard. When you click on his commander skill, he needs a rage cost of 250. You can generate a certain amount of rage every second with every normal attack. When your rage cost reaches 250, your commander is going to do damage based on whether that commander is strategy or might. Okay, the thing is you can also bring both might and strategy in your lineup. Let's say, for example, in the second slot, I bring a strategy hero like this guy, okay? So when I hit save, now this guy is going to attack with both strategy and might. And Hua Mulan is also going to attack with strategy. They will both work. They will both do that kind of damage. But the only problem is this guy is a cavalry. I don't have any bonus boost here at the bottom. He is a strategy commander. I don't have any boost here as well. So this is not good for me. We're going to eliminate that. So now we are going to attack a tribe on the map. And you guys are going to see the importance of your equipment, your talent tree, and all of that good stuff. Come on, game, load quick. Okay, so we're going to attack someone with Hua Mulan. So archers, we're going to look for swordsmen. And we are going to search. Okay, hit search for the swordsman tribe on the map. So we're going to attack this swordsman with this Hua Mulan lineup. So like I said from the explanation, Hua Mulan now has been added over here. She's going to use a normal attack and she's going to use her might attribute, which is another type of attack that she is bringing into this lineup. These other two slots do not have anything else. They will only attack with their strategy. Now, I want to show you guys the importance of your equipment and your attributes and all of that good stuff. So we're going to hit attack on this enemy. Even if we're going to lose, I just want to show you guys a little something simple. Hua Mulan just taking her time, going to the enemy, trying to wreck them, destroy them, and make them take a lot of damage. Okay, so here we go. So the numbers in white are usually the normal attack, and Hua Mulan is of military specialty. So her attacks are going to be red because military specialty is classified by red. So she charged her rage skill by using normal attack, and she hit it in any turn. As you can see here, these writings are the skills of Hua Mulan. They will trigger in her own turn. So I think I need to explain that in a little bit. So we are going to lose this march. The main point is I want to show you guys a little something from the war report that will help you understand the importance of your equipment, your rings, your armor, pairing up your correct troop types, and all that stuff. We're still fighting. We got defeated. We are going to check the war report in a little bit. So let's look over here. So when Hua Mulan is fighting, she is going to hit a normal attack in her turn. So when we go over here, let's find Hua Mulan. So this is Hua Mulan. When it's her turn to fight, she is going to trigger one of these three skills during her turn. These skills are going to depend on their activation chance. When Hua Mulan hits a normal attack, this signature skill has a 20% chance to activate. It could activate, it could not activate. The second one also has a 20% chance to activate. And this is the description of the skill. The third one also has a chance to activate. A 20% chance to activate when she attacks. She could activate all three skills in her turn when she gets lucky and procs all of these chances to happen. Now, if you look at here, Hua Mulan is of a secondary strike. So there are different signature skills as described over here. Hua Mulan is secondary. So chance to be activated each time the hero launches a normal attack. So when you put Attila in this lineup, Attila is going to make it so that Hua Mulan can do 2 normal attacks in one turn. So now she has a higher chance of triggering all of her skill. She could even trigger both of them at the same time if she gets lucky based on those 2 normal attacks given to her by Attila. So let us go back to the war report and I show you guys what I really wanted to show you. You can see the importance of might. So here is a quick glimpse of the war report. This is everything that Hua Mulan used. She brought in some might damage. You can see here we don't have anything for this 2 skill slot because I did not put anything. These 2 skill slots are going to attack by using the normal attacks only. So these are the might attacks that we got from Hua Mulan. And from here we didn't get anything from the other 2 skill slots because we didn't have anything. Now we go to the stats. You can see all the good stuff that we got here. As you can see, normal attack. They did normal attack, okay? So Hua Mulan has a lot more normal attack. You might want to wonder why. So that is because Hua Mulan brought in points from her talent tree. Hua Mulan probably had a ring. Did I have a ring? I don't remember. So Hua Mulan had some equipment, increasing her boost. So you can see here she did a lot more normal attack. That is because of her talent tree and some of the things that she brought to the table. At the bottom here you can see the might skill. So Hua Mulan did a might damage of 19,000. These other 2 slots did not do any might damage because they did not have any heroes there to bring might damage. So Hua Mulan has also strategy and might defense. As you can see here, this lineup used might skill to take Hua Mulan might defense. And so they did a lot of might and were able to defeat Hua Mulan. So it is important to put points in your talent trees. So when we go over here to show you guys why Hua Mulan had a lot more normal attack than the other 2 skill slots, is because Hua Mulan has a normal attack boost here from the talent tree. You can see increases the damage of the hero's normal attacks by 3%. This is 1. Where is the other one? They should be everywhere. Yep, here is another normal attack boost. So this is the importance of putting points in your talent tree. You also have your equipment that are going to help you out. You can click on this information and you can see the attack bonus and the defense bonus of your equipment. So that is going to be crucial when you fight your enemies. We're going to go back to this skill slot and keep things pushing. So we only had Hua Mulan over here. Let us add the second hero and you can see the importance of doing this stuff. So we're going to put Josephine in this second skill slot and we're going to pick archers and we're going to hit save. Now you can see my boost went all the way up to 80%. I am using 2 heroes with the same military specialty. You can see the military specialty here helping out. And then I'm using 2 heroes that lead the same troop type. And you can see here the troop bonus has gone up. Don't put like different types of heroes to lead your lineup. For example, if I take this one out and say I put this pikeman guy over here and we're using archers. As you can see, the ranking is only 50%, but this guy does not lead archers. So there is nothing here highlighted. It's only 50%. He has a military specialty that is working with Hua Mulan. If I was to attack someone on the map, this guy is also going to use his might. But the boost here from the bottom is not going to be good. So we're going to put back Josephine, hit archers and save. So when I go fight my enemies, Josephine has her own talent tree. She has her own points. You know what? Let's do the demonstration on the map again. So we're going to hit search. We're going to search. We're going to hit this common tribe. With this lineup, now you see Josephine is going to bring her might attack. She's also going to add her might defense to help out with this lineup become even stronger. We're going to hit deploy. I'm going to use this. Okay, that's good. We hit deploy. We go and fight. I hope this one helped you understand the difference between might and strategy. So in this case, these 2 heroes are both might heroes. So they will be using more might attack to try and destroy their enemy. They will have might defense and might and strategy defense. So the strategy points from Hua Mulan and Josephine are going to add up to give her some good strategy defense. And the might defense, which is the armor from Hua Mulan and Josephine, are going to add up to give them a good armor when fighting someone. So this lineup might have a good strategy defense and a bad might defense. It depends. So now we are fighting. When it's the turn of the hero, they have the chance to trigger their signature skill and their customizable skill. In terms of the rage skill, it's going to charge by itself by the normal attack. These white numbers you see here, these are the normal attack of each hero in every turn. You can see it's different, and that is based on the boost from the talent tree and some of the equipment and the gear that are on the hero. So it looks like we won this match by just adding a second hero to our lineup, and the troop count also increased. So let's go over here. As you can see, this one does not have any might or strategy, so it's empty. It's nothing. We go to the detail. You can see Josephine brought in some damage as well, which is pretty good. Now let's go to the stats. As you guys can see here, this third slot did not have any hero there, which means the talent tree of the heroes did not help it do a lot of normal attack damage. You can see here, good normal attack, good normal attack. This one has a might damage here, which is pretty good. Now you're probably going to ask, why is the commander having more normal attack? That is because I think from the Josephine talent tree, she also has skill that boosts the damage of your commander, which is why we have a lot more damage here. And usually when your commander attacks first, the enemy has a lot of troops, so they will take out a huge chunk of troops from the enemy. So here Josephine also gets a high normal attack because the third slot here does not have any hero, does not have any talent tree to boost it, doesn't have any equipment, doesn't have any rings, didn't even do a might damage or strategy damage because I didn't put any heroes here. So these two heroes are going to have some kind of might defense. Let's go to the buffs. As you can see here, they have their armor to protect them against heroes who fight with might, and they have strategy to protect themselves against heroes who fight with strategy. So these strategy points are going to add up to give them some kind of strategy defense, and this armor is going to add up to give them some kind of might defense, which is the armor. Now the defense is going to depend, and depending on the enemy that attacks you, you could have a powerful strategy enemy attack this lineup and do some serious damage. So this is how you can try and counter your enemies when you build your lineup. Try to look at their attributes and make sure they are good. Make sure they have some kind of good scaling. So we're going to get back over here and continue this explanation. Now we're going to add the third hero in this lineup. In this case, we're going to put Rani. So I'm going to collapse this, hit archers to the maximum, we hit save. So Rani has the ability to make the person in the next turn do a double normal attack. So Hua Mulan is going to attack with her normal attack, and then she has the chance to trigger all of her 3 skill, signature, and the customizable skill. Some of them will trigger, some of them will not trigger. And then Josephine is also going to do the same. When it's her turn to attack, she is going to attack and then trigger her 3 skills. Sometimes they trigger, sometimes they don't. Those skills have a chance to trigger. And then when it's Rani's turn to fight, she is going to make sure that the next person in line, which is Budik, which is Hua Mulan, do a double normal attack in one turn. So do you know what that means? Let's go to the hero skills. You know what? Let me click it from here. So I'm going to click Hua Mulan. Okay, so we have the lineup here. So this hero is in the 3rd slot, right? It's her turn to fight. She hits a normal attack. She has a 100% chance. Okay, this skill is going to trigger 100%, but it says there is a certain chance for the next hero to enter double attack state and obtain more points of might. So when these chances trigger this ability, in her turn, the next turn is going to be Hua Mulan. So Hua Mulan's skill is of a secondary strike. If you look from here, the skills have a description. So this icon here is secondary strike, chance to be activated each time the hero launches a normal attack, including double attacks. So now Rani is going to make sure Hua Mulan does 2 normal attacks in one turn. But Hua Mulan chance of activation is 20%. And if she do 2 normal attacks in one turn, she has a higher chance of triggering this skill. Who knows? She could even trigger it twice with those 2 normal attacks. And it's going to be insane. It'll just give her more chances to trigger this skill. This skill is devastating. It can do a lot of damage to the enemy. Now in this lineup, you can put Attila somewhere here in the middle. Attila is going to make sure that each one of this lineup does a double normal attack. Now all of them are going to do 2 normal attack. Another person you can add here is going to be, you can add Bellevue. You can add Bellevue to this lineup. Bellevue also give you the chance to do a double normal attack. And that is going to be super awesome. Now I remember I told you guys that you should also pay attention to the might of your heroes. Now that's going to be this lineup. So when it's Trip Huana's turn to attack, she's going to trigger this skill and she's going to increase the activation chance of your hero. Now you want to keep Trip Huana at a low might because you don't want her to have a high might. So that is because Mr. Miyamoto over here, when he triggers this skill, he has a 45% chance to let the hero with the highest might, excluding himself, cast a signature skill or turn-based skill. So when this guy is fighting in his turn, when he triggers this skill by a 45% chance, he will let somebody do their skill while he is fighting in his own turn. So let's say on the first turn, he activates this ability. He is going to force Yodit to do this skill in his turn when he is fighting. So he is going to hit the enemy with his own signature skill, and then he is going to force Yodit to do her signature skill in his turn as well. And then Yodit is going to fight, and then no, this one is going to hit again. Yodit is going to hit her own skill, and then the turn is going to go back to Mr. Miyamoto. And Miyamoto again can force Yodit to do her skill again during his turn. Both his skill and Yodit's skill happening in the same turn. But for that to happen, you need to lower the might of Trip Huana, which is why when you go to the talent tree, try not to pick might points for Trip Huana. We have might here. This is a big mistake I made. I need to remove this because I want to keep Trip Huana at a low might. It's the reason people keep Trip Huana at only 3 stars. That should be good enough. Even 1 star is good enough because when you add this medal, you're going to increase the might. You don't want their might to be higher than the might for Yodit. When Yodit has a high might, look at this skill. This skill is super awesome. You can also get an immunity. You do a lot of damage. So that is the reason to lower your might by understanding how your heroes work on the field. So this is what I really wanted to show you guys. When you fight your enemies in the open field, you're going to have 3 slots. Each one is going to hit a normal attack, and you're going to add your heroes over there. Depending on the heroes, they could hit with might or they could hit with strategy. Some heroes have good strategy defense, others have good might defense. You can use that information to build a lineup that's going to destroy anyone that crosses your path. Your equipments are important. Make sure you pair up the same heroes with the same military specialty. Use the heroes that use the same troop type. That way you get a glorious ranking over here. Your rings, your equipment, all of that good stuff, they are very, very important when you fight your enemies. Each time you fight your enemy, they are going to take turn fighting. And their skills can also be described from here. You can see this icon. These are the description of your skills. We also have turn-based heroes that I did not describe. So let's go here and we look at a turn-based hero. So we have this guy, Julius Caesar, who is a turn-based hero. Just to give you guys a quick glimpse on how the mechanics work. So when you have Julius Caesar as the primary, on the first time he hits an enemy, he is going to trigger this skill 100%. I don't think it's also going to be affected by debuffs because it's a turn-based skill. It's guaranteed to happen. So he's going to trigger this skill when he hits the normal attack, and then he's going to wait for 9 seconds. So throughout the match, he's going to be fighting with his normal attack when it's his turn. And after 9 seconds, he is going to automatically trigger this skill again. So this type of skills are going to be useful against heroes who put debuffs on yourself, because I think you should be able to ignore all of them because these are turn-based skills. They cannot be dismissed. So this is another thing that I wanted to show. So every hero is going to have some kind of classification for their skill. So you can look at them and then see how to pair up your heroes. The last thing that I really want to summarize in the video is how to invest in heroes for the future. Make sure you pick heroes that have good might attributes, good strategy attributes, good scaling. We're going to start off with someone like Sun Tzu. A lot of people are not talking about this hero, but this guy is going to be very useful for a very long time. He has good armor. He has good strategy. You don't really need his might, because you're only going to use his armor to defend yourself and his strategy to fight enemies. You can see the scaling here. It is very good. If you look at someone like Richard, he has a good armor, but he has a terrible strategy defense. It's going to be easy to take him down with strategy heroes, but Richard has good scaling, so he's going to be very useful for quite some times. Miyamoto is also another good hero with excellent balance statistics and good skills overall, so he's somebody you should invest for the future. Lubu here has good scaling for his might. He's going to be useful for the future. He also has a good armor, which means he is going to fit nicely in any future lineup where, you have heroes with very high might and high armor. He's going to be very defensive. Unfortunately, he's got poor strategy defense. So when you meet someone with a lot of crazy strategy attack, you are going to take some serious damage. And then you have heroes from the tavern who are just terrible. They have bad might scaling. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on those heroes from the tavern. They're not going to be super useful down the road. Hannibal is another good one. He has a strategy scaling of 1.03%. And if you want to see madness taken to the next level, you can have a look at this guy. If you see this dude in the open field, make sure you run for your life, because it's going to be the end of you. Look at the scaling of this dude. It's just crazy. Excellent strategy defense, excellent armor, excellent might attack. It's just insane. One of the craziest heroes in the game. Stay away if you see this guy. He is money. He smells money everywhere. If you can get him, you are going to wipe everyone with the floor. So these are some of the heroes that you invest. If you guys know, if you continue playing this game, some of your heroes are going to be obsolete. So make sure you invest in the ones that have good might, good armor, good strategy, and they have good scaling. Heroes who have 1 on the sides are good. These are the attributes that increase when you level up your heroes with experience. And I think this pretty much covers most of the information. I think I forgot to show you guys one topic of the video. So let's go back to this lineup. So your heroes are going to hit, let's say this lineup is fighting someone. It's going to hit that person with 100% normal attack. Okay, so it's fighting that one person. It's going to hit with 100% normal attack. Let's pick the lineup of Lu Bu, okay? Because Lu Bu can do damage to multiple people. Okay, so let's click on this information over here. So let's say Lu Bu is fighting one enemy. He's gonna hit that enemy with 100% of his normal attack, okay? And then say all of a sudden 5 more people come to fight Lu Bu. Now Lu Bu in a 1 versus 5 situation. What is going to happen? So Lu Bu is going to hit that one person that he's fighting with 100% normal attack. Now the other 4 people who are hitting Lu Bu will also take a certain amount of normal attack from Lu Bu. Okay? They will take a certain amount of normal attack from Lu Bu. I don't know how much amount, but Lu Bu will still be doing normal attack to all those other enemies who are fighting him. But the effect is not going to be as stronger as the one on that one person that he is attacking. But Lu Bu has a rage skill, a might rage skill that can do damage to up to 5 targets. Now he will be able to do might damage to all of those 5 targets who are surrounding him and fighting him. So this is how some of the normal attack system works in the game. I don't think I explained it. So there you go. When you attack someone, you have the chance to do normal attack to all of them. The effectiveness of the normal attack is not going to be the same for all the enemies who are hitting you. In the case of these pikemen, their skills are based on counter attack. So they will do damage to pretty much anyone who touches them. They are going to take counter attack damage. So that is very good for this pikeman lineup. And I think that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully I did not confuse you guys. I tried to explain to the best of my ability. The main plan of the video was to help you understand how to pair up these heroes by yourself without depending on anybody else. Just know that your heroes hit with a normal attack, and then they are going to have some kind of chance to trigger their skill during their turn. Sometimes it triggers, sometimes it doesn't. You just keep on fighting with them. You just got to know how to pair up who to help you do those damage. In terms of customizable skills, I think there will be more customizable skills in the future. I think the devs will add some more customizable skills in the future. So I should be making other guides talking about customizable skills. And I think that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.